A sequence of patterns is made of dots and lines of unit length. Some of these lines form squares. The first three diagrams in the sequence are shown below. So first we're going to analyze each one of the diagrams. So diagram 1, we notice we have one square, a dot in the middle, and 4 lines connecting each side of the square, along with 4 dots on the outer part. Diagram 2, now we see that we have 2 squares, 2 dots in the middle, and 6 dots filling the outer side. Diagram 3, we have 3 squares, 3 dots, and that is 8 squares, 8 dots on the outer side. Now similarly, part A says now, add more lines and dots to the diagram below to show diagram 4 of the sequence. So all we're going to do, we're going to add one more square here, put a dot in the middle, then we're going to put a line up here, a line down here, a line here, and then put dots here. So that would represent diagram 4. So let's look at the next part of the question. So part B, the number of dots D and the number of unit lines that form each diagram L form a pattern. The values for D and L for the first 3 diagrams are written in the table below. Study the pattern of the number of each row in the table. Here it says complete the rows numbered 1, 2, and 3. Let's study the pattern. So for diagram 1, number of dots 5, diagram 2, number of dots 8, diagram 3, number of dots 11. So clearly you can see that I am going up by 3 each time. 3, 3, 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So for diagram 4, we're going to have 11 plus 3. That is going to give me 14. Let's look at the number of lines. We started out with 8. Then in diagram 2, we have 15 lines. In diagram 3, we have 22. Here, if I add 7 to the 8, I will end up with 15. And if I add 7 to 15, I'm going to end up with 22. So clearly, I am going up by 7 each time. So this is the pattern. I'm going up by 7. I start out with 8, and I'm going up by 7 each time. So the diagram number 4 will have 29 lines. So add 7 to the 22, and I'm going to end up with 29 lines. Now, part 2, here we have to do a little bit of thinking. They give us the number of dots. We need to find a diagram number, and we need to find the number of lines. Under exam conditions, it doesn't make sense we keep on adding 3 until we reach the 59 to see what is the diagram number. We need to figure out a way how to do this to save us time. Now, the easiest way to do this, once we are increasing by a constant number, so we started out with 5 for the number of dots, we add 3, we get 8, then we keep on adding 3 going down. So there is a particular name for that in sequence, and it's called arithmetic sequence. And the formula is given by, we start out with the first term, which is 5. Then the common difference is 3. And then we multiply by n minus 1. Here n is the diagram number. So if we use this formula to test the number of dots, when n is 1, so here when n is 1, we're going to have 5 plus 3, 1 minus 1 is 0, and that is going to give us 5. When n is 2, we're going to get 5 plus 3 times 1, and that is going to give us 8. When n is 3, we're going to have 5 plus 3 times 3 minus 1 is 2, and we're going to get 11. Now, if you notice that this formula is generating the number of dots. Now, here, they gave us the number of dots to be 59. So we're going to say this formula 5 plus 3 n minus 1 is equal to 59. All we have to do now is solve for n. So let's solve for n, subtract 5 from both sides. We're going to get 3n minus 1 is equal to 54. Divide both sides by 3. We're going to get n minus 1 is equal to 54 divided by 3. That is going to give me 18. Next, in order to find n, we just add 1 to both sides. So we have n is equal to 19. So here now we have 19. So for the diagram number, and that is associated with the number of dots, 59. What about the number of lines? Let's look at the number of lines. We started off with 8. We're going up by 7, so we can use the same formula over here. But the first term is going to be 8. The difference, the common difference, is going to be 7. And then we subtract 1 from the n. So this is our formula to generate the number of lines. So let's find the number of lines associated with diagram number 19. So we're going to have 8 plus 7, 19 minus 1. That's going to give me 18. And we can get our calculators now. So let's get our calculators. And we're going to say 8 plus 7 times 18. And that is 134. So 134. So part 3 is technically asking us what is the formula for generating the number of dots and the number of lines when we have a diagram number n. So technically what they are saying is that given any diagram number, what is the formula to generate the number of lines and the number of dots? Here we have found our formula already. So this is our formula. But we can simplify it, right? We can simplify it. If we expand, if we multiply throughout by 3 in the for the bracket, we're going to have 5 plus 3n minus 3. So that is going to give me, adding and subtracting like terms, we're going to get 5 minus 3. That's 2 plus 3n. Therefore, the number of dots, the formula is 2 plus 3n. What about the number of lines? So we can do the same thing over here. We are going to have 8 plus 7n minus 7. So therefore, 8 minus 7 is going to give me 1 plus 7n. So our formula is 1 plus 7n. Again, the key takeaway, once you are increasing by a constant, we are going to use the formula for an arithmetic progression. So part C says one of the diagrams in the sequence has 148 lines. Calculate the number of dots in this diagram. So we know that our formula for the number of lines is 1 plus 7n. They told us that is equal to 148. Here is it. They give us the information. So now we need to find n. So we're going to subtract 1 from both sides. So we're going to get 7n is equal to 147. Now to find n, we divide both sides by 7. So we get n is equal to 147 divided by 7. That's going to give me 21. Now I found the diagram number. Associated with 148 lines, but the question is asking for the number of dots. Now, our formula for the number of dots is going to be 2 plus 3n. So this is dots, and this is lines. Now, what is the number of dots? So we're going to use our 21 we got here. So we're going to say 2 plus 3.